as I remember, I think you being 13 when the wall was starting to be built, right? You
Yeah.
being around 13 years old, right? So what can you remember at that times? Do you have families in the other part of the wall, or
No,
friends?
I didn't. But Rudolf had family in East Germany in the former DDR, and he just in some interview we did like a couple of days ago, he was talking about it, and he said that him with his family they went over to see uh, their brothers and sisters across the border, behind the Iron Curtain, and it was always to make some little packages of like food or some goods from the West, which was very difficult to get in East Germany, So, and he told me about it. No, I didn't have any relatives there, but I remember Rudolf and me. One Sunday afternoon, we went across the checkpoint in Berlin, and we had an afternoon where we walked into East Berlin. It was difficult, with all the soldiers at immigrations, kind of, and you had to show your ear. Yeah, show me your ear because we had long hair, and we we went into like into a disco, and they spotted us being Westerners coming from West Germany because we were wearing all those cool Levi jeans, and they saw we were Westerners, and it was just a short Sunday afternoon walk we did in East Berlin, and then we went back to West Berlin because it was kind of a you know very weird kind of feeling, not being really welcome. It was a strange vibe. So I said, let's go back to West Berlin. But this was the only
Better to
trip,
stay there.
and the only other time actually. We tried many times to play concerts in the former DDR, behind the Iron Curtain, behind the wall. Uh, it was never possible. Uh, but the only time actually when we played in West Berlin and East Berlin at the same time was when we were part of the Roger Waters' The Wall, in 1990. It was a couple of months after the wall came down, but the stage was on no man's land, and the stage was so huge that one part of the stage was in East Berlin and the other part was in West Berlin. So I think it was
Crazy.
Matthias playing in East Berlin and Rudolf playing in West Berlin, at the same time. And there were 250,000 people sitting on Hitler's bunker, and it was just also for us being German, it was a very, very special emotional moment.
I imagine, because I imagine you see the wall for all these years. It's just is your neighborhood, let's say. Okay, we are not talking
Yeah,
about another country. We're talking about in your same
yeah,
city, in your same neighborhood. It's
yeah. It was
crazy.
like West Berlin was like an island, the first checkpoint going on the autobahn, on the transit motorway to Berlin was 100 kilometers from here. You get checked, and then we went on to going to West Berlin and go to a checkpoint again, and finally you arrived in West Berlin where we played like in some clubs. Like Dachluke was the name of one in Kreuzberg, and it was like a little island, but we were in the middle of, in a way, of the East, and going back home, you had to go again, drive through the DDR, and if they stopped you there, it was a dangerous thing, you didn't want to get in trouble in East Germany in those days, but much more harder was to grow up with the Berlin Wall and to see so many young people who died just for the reason they wanted to they wanted to live in the free world, you know, and trying to climb over the wall, and they being shot, you know, and see, like some of them, I still remember Peter Fechter was 18 years old and he was bleeding to death, you know, in no man's land. You know, it's like you grew up like this and you never forget. So many lost their lives just because they want to live in the free world.
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Incredible.
E aí, meu amigo e minha amiga? Gostou desse pequeno trecho que nós separamos para você dessa entrevista? Se você curtiu, você pode assistir na íntegra esse papo clicando abaixo aqui no link correspondente. Esse foi apenas um aperitivo. Você pode saborear o prato principal apenas clicando no link, pois aí você terá essa entrevista na íntegra, beleza? Então, recado tá dado. Abraço e saúde para você, para sua família e para os seus amigos.